So I have in the studio with me today is my beautiful bride, Bảo Trâm. Just gonna have Bảo Trâm to do a little introduction about you. People want to know who you are because your photos, your beautiful photos of your beautiful áo dài have been all over the internet.
Thanks, Ty. So my name is Bảo Trâm, and I'm based in Seattle, Washington. And I've been a huge fan of yours for a very, very long time because I know that you're also from the Washington. I just saw a lot of your work through different brides. I think it was like Hwang Kim. She
Thank
got
you.
married a few
Yes.
months before me. Grew up in Seattle. I came from Vietnam when I was 3 and spent most of my life living in the US before I became a florist. So I started a floral business during the pandemic. I think a lot of people were looking for hobbies and I wanted to explore floral design. And I got married in 2022. So I started my business in 2021 and gave myself like a year to get good at it. And yeah, so like I did my own wedding flowers and knew that like I wanted to have like a pretty like extravagant wedding and like wanted like the best of the best when it came to like my attire. And so for my áo dài, like you came to my mind instantly.
Do you know that's the one question or one comment that a lot of brides they think that I'm inaccessible. I'm
Mhm.
just like anyone else, right? I'm just so truly blessed and grateful. I have opportunity to
Oh,
do so many things, but at the end of the day, I am a Vietnamese American. Well, I just want to say once again, thank you. I know your wedding was in 2022. And backtrack a little bit. You're not just a florist now. You are an award-winning florist.
thank you.
You have
Yeah.
to say that. So the wedding was in 2022. So
Mhm.
it's been 2 years?
2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
Wow, it's been 2 years. I can't believe it. And it seemed like yesterday because we still see
Mhm.
your photo. We still see your Áo Dài photo, like, around and around, back and so many times. My one question is, why did you want to wear an áo dài to your wedding?
Yeah. So I knew that I was gonna have a cultural component to my wedding. Originally, I was thinking of wearing the áo dài to the tea ceremony.
Uh-huh.
But then I realized that, I have this really special dress that I could be wearing to my wedding. And the wedding is kind of like the big feature event for the weekend. So I just made sure that like that was something that I could also highlight during my day. I think that like a lot of Vietnamese people there were like happy to see that, but also I think that it was appreciated and admired by non-Vietnamese guests too.
It was more so you thinking is more kind of like a representation or like a celebration of the Vietnamese culture because you and your husband are both Vietnamese. And then have you worn an áo dài before? Since because you came to the US at such a young age. So have you worn an áo dài before?
I've worn Alyas when I was younger. Like I wore them when I was like in elementary school, and then like I was a part of a Alya fashion show in my early 20s. But I never had something made for me, and that was really special. Like even my wedding dress, it was something that I bought and then had to like get tailored down. But like the experience of like coming to your atelier and like working with you to put together something custom and just for me was really like
Made to your
great.
measurements. So do you think you have wonderful memories with Áo Dài or not so wonderful memories with Áo Dài prior to this wedding Áo Dài?
I think I've had always
Okay.
positive memories. I think definitely like there's been memories where it's something Vietnamese related, like it's like either like a cultural event, um, going to Vietnam and buying áo dài, and then yeah, I think that like now when we're wearing an áo dài, like I'm learning that there's like specific like rules and etiquette to it, and that that is something that is important to follow, but I also know there's like different types of áo dài and styles.
Yeah, because to me, I think Áo Dài has been around for centuries, right? And definitely, I
Mhm.
did not invent the Áo Dài, but my way of designing, creating Áo Dài is I like to tell the story through the Áo Dài. How did we come up with the inspiration? Remind me.
Yeah, so we put together a on Google presentation. I put
Mhm.
together different photos of áo dài that I liked, but also side by side like wedding dresses that I liked. We when we went and picked out fabrics in your atelier, I picked out an ivory.
So that's a really good point because a lot of time people think traditional. By tradition, people wear red or gold because of, the symbol of luck, right? joy and luck. But then to me, I think it was like, what if the red doesn't look good on you? Or what
Mhm.
if red is not your color? So sometimes I feel like it's great to follow tradition, but then sometimes I feel like it's also your personal choice because
Mhm.
when you what you wear, it's really showcase who you are as a person. And I remember you sent me a photo of like a gown with the
Mhm.
detail of the sleeves, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that was like the one detail that I was like, oh, this is really beautiful because it's not just a
Yeah.
typical Áo Dài sleeves straight.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that was kind of like the twist of the
Mhm.
Áo Dài is the sleeves, the pleated sleeve. And then
Mhm.
that pleated just kind of like was the main inspiration for the whole Áo Dài because your Áo Dài, to briefly describe, pleated tulle over crepe back satin.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
it's ivory color, and then we also have like an ivory beaded lace
Yes, it's
that we cut it
beautiful.
out, and then we
Mhm.
placed it on your Áo Dài, and then we did a removable train so
Mhm.
that because we wanted to have that train for the drama, for the photo, which your photographer did an amazing job. I mean, it was so
Yeah.
beautiful, right?
Yes.
Because I think to
Mhm.
me is I really want to make sure that your Áo Dài is your wedding was in 2022, but like 2032,
Yes, it's
2042.
timeless. Yeah.
Yes, you look back and you know that, oh my God, it was still beautiful like 30 years or 50 years from now. That's what I strive for. That's what I want to create. And you said it yourself, like you can go to Vietnam and get an Áo Dài. But why
Mhm.
did you choose my Áo Dài, right? Because of that sense of timeless. A lot of time when I come up with the design for the Áo Dài for the brides or a client, usually inspired by, you know, the things that you love, the inspiration that you send to me, or sometimes it's by color theme, or sometimes by flowers. So as a florist, did you have like a color, like a floral arrangement or a floral story in mind before you come to me with an Áo Dài, or did this come after you see the Áo Dài?
Yeah. So I think as a florist, I wanted to incorporate like some kind of like floral theme too, like more like dramatic.
Right.
Yeah, which I thought was really beautiful.
It was like the whole branch of like different size of flower. It wasn't like small and dainty because
Mhm.
everyone likes something different, right? Some like bigger flowers, some like small, dainty. So you like this whole component of like a like an S curve of a floral embroidery on your Áo Dài.
The theme for that was like more of like fine art, timeless, which I think blends well with your style.
After 2 years and you wore that Áo Dài on your wedding day, what was that feeling when you first walk out in your Áo Dài?
I think that like when I was I'm kind of a little bit sometimes of a shy bride. I mean, I know that like that can be interesting because we had like a bigger like extravagant wedding, but I think that like I remember walking out and people just like were delighted. I think like that was like the sense that I got in the room. And so like it kind of made me feel less nervous and like really yeah, feel that like okay, like I'm the moment right now and
The
the oh
moment.
yeah, it has its moment and yeah, I think like knowing that people felt delighted to see something so beautiful, like made me feel really happy.
How did you feel, or how did your husband react when he first saw you in Áo Dài?
Yeah. So my husband is a crier and I just remember crying and he has been in like very Vietnamese. Like he used to MC like pageants and community events. And so I think that like it was special for him to like know that this was a time where we're celebrating our culture and heritage. And yeah, I think he loved
Did
it.
you
He was so
share with him? Did you share with him the Áo Dài or let him see it before first look? Or did he,
no, mm-mm. Actually, he saw me in the Áo Dài first at the tea ceremony.
what was your mom reaction when she saw you in ivory Áo Dài instead of a red or gold Áo Dài?
It's really interesting because my mom definitely has a lot of opinions, but for this, like she like thought it was beautiful. Like she didn't say like, why did you wear red? Like white is unlucky. It's like the color of like funerals. But I think that it was okay letting me do what I wanted. And even my decorations for the tea ceremony, I had white lanterns, and I know a lot of people would like be like, oh, it has to be red. But yeah, I think that there's like openness.
Your photo got to be on brides.com as beautiful wedding dresses of real brides
Yeah.
into 2023.
Yeah, I think we were
How
like
did that happen?
20. So I had a really good planner with Events by Genevieve. And it's important because good planners kind of like know what design decisions to make for your wanting to like look like elevated and yeah, like luxurious. And then having a good photographer, since photography is like one of the only things that you have after your wedding. Well, the style of photography we wanted was like more fine art, like timeless editorial, which Janet Lynn Anderson does a really great job with. So I think like those were like my biggest partners with wedding planning was yeah, we had our wedding and Janet took really beautiful photos. And then from there she submitted to different types of publications. And Bride was on the top of our list of like ones that we were really interested in having our photos featured. And they accepted them right away. It was like sometimes it takes weeks to hear back, but they were like very interested in accepting them. And yeah, so they're like a very like prestigious publication. It was also exclusive, so we couldn't share our
Mhm.
photos until they published
Yeah.
them,
Mhm.
which took a year. But I that's why you're saying, like, I still see the photos because, like, we had our wedding, it took a year, they published the photos, and then I can share more widely. But it
But
was yeah.
But Bảo Trâm, I think it's perfectly fine
Uh-huh.
because your wedding is in 2022,
Uh-huh.
2023, brides.com published, and here
Yeah.
we are, 2024, still talking about it because
Yes.
what we
Yes.
created is timeless. There was
Mhm.
no, it's evergreen. It was, and I don't even know when I will be sharing this story to, the public, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still going to be relevant. To me, I think is really about, for my story is my mission is to advocate the Áo Dài, to
Mhm.
really to bring this Áo Dài, this beautiful Vietnamese traditional outfit to many different type of mediums of media. But the question is, where is that Áo Dài now?
Yeah. Okay, so that Áo Dài is in the nice, Thái Nguyễn Atelier dust bag that you gave me.
Okay. Hmm.
I think that is something that I'm gonna treat as a family heirloom too. Like,
Yes.
as Vietnamese refugees, we don't have a lot of like valuable things to pass down. So I think that's like something I'm excited to like keep and like pass down to family. Yeah, the story behind it, kind of as like a first generation refugee here, and also like it being published and created by you, like makes it really special.
What advice you would like to give to future brides?
I put a lot of resources into my wedding, and a lot of people are like, like weddings are so expensive. There's a shock factor, but I would like spend that all again and more. I think just because you only have like that one day, and I know for you, like you want like an intimate ceremony. Yeah, I think what you said around what you wear is who you are. Like that's something I'm gonna continue to remember. Like I recommend for someone to try on something that is them. Like even with how they do their makeup and their hair, just like you want to look like you, like on your wedding day. Yeah, just because you're gonna have your photos and that's gonna be around forever. So yeah, things that like look like you, represent you, like is probably what I'd recommend.
Some brides do this. They have a silhouette. They take a photo. They try on many different silhouette, and they go
Yeah.
back and they study. And then really,
Uh-huh.
you just have to know which silhouette is good for you. Or if you see on magazine, you see on publication, you see on social media, I think it's best to just like take that photo and kind of Photoshop your face in there and see, is that really you, right? Because I think it's really important that you have to wear something that's represent who you are, whether it's your background, whether it's your skin color, whether it's your body type, right? There are many different ways that you can make it your own. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think those are beautiful advice for your brides. What would you say to non-Vietnamese brides or groom about wearing an áo dài for the celebration?
Yeah. So I think that like I know for you, like you've really been championing Aoyais and that like Aoyais can be for anyone, like as long as they're like respectful of like Vietnamese culture and like it should be celebrated, especially if there is some connection to Vietnam, such as someone who has a partner that's Vietnamese. I think that it's like showing your like interest in that culture and like honoring them. Um, so I think that like, yeah, I think that it should be like celebrated if that's something that you want to do and accepted, especially since the fairy godmother himself says it's okay if you're not Vietnamese and you want
Yeah.
to wear an Ao Dai.
Yeah, it's about culture appreciation. Be honest, how was your overall experience with the whole process of custom design and Áo Dài for your wedding day, for your special day?
I loved it. I really loved it. I like it was one of the like my favorite things that I did during wedding planning was working with you, like having our consultation together and like co-creating something together to seeing you in your atelier. I really love the design sketch that you made me too. Like I've never had anything custom created for me that's one of a kind. So I think that that was just like a highlight during my wedding
Thank
planning
you.
process. Yeah, I really loved it. Yeah.
And and you were so sweet and you're so passionate as a florist. I remember you came down to see me and then you went and bought flowers and you
Oh
arranged in a floral arrangement and brought it to my atelier. I was like, oh my God, she is a true florist.
yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And thank you for like appreciating them and sharing them too.
Did you do the fitting with me or I shipped it to you?
Oh, I think you had to ship it. Oh,
I
you told me
measure
about
you. You came
and
down
then
for
you shipped it.
consultation. I measure
Yeah.
you, and
Uh-huh.
then I
And then you
just shipped
shipped
it,
it.
right?
Yeah, and you're fast too.
And I shipped
Like
it and it fits, right?
yeah, yeah, it was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're I don't know how you do it. Like the quality and the design and the time is amazing.
Quality is the key. It's not just the quality that we put together, but also the quality of the material. Last questions is, so you are South Vietnam or Northern Vietnam?
Well, we started in the north and then we moved down to the south. So like
So
we're
how
like
would you
Canadian
pronounce
Pacific.
Áo Dài? Do you, because the South, I'm from the South, we say Áo Dài, but the North we say Áo Dài. So do you say Áo Dài or Áo Dài?
We say Ao Yai.
Okay, I just wanna end with that. Just let people
Yeah,
know the pronunciation of an Áo Dài. And I think we had this wonderful conversation. I think we covered it all. And
thank you,
it's
Ty.
really described who you are as a bride and the whole journey that we did together.
Thank you.